This is Hollis.
Whenever you're ready, Louis.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
My name is Louis Sepulveda. I'm with Pelican Electrical Group. I was the gentleman that ran this job here and did all the installation with my crew. As we walk downstairs to the first floor electrical room, I'll show you exactly where the main disconnect is at for the entire building. We have an 800 amp service coming into this building. From that 800 amp main disconnect, it comes and feeds into this MDP panel. The MDP has its own surge protector. And then we distribute along to high voltage panel on the second floor. This building was, I don't know why, but they split the building half to half. So this west end of the building is getting fed from this electrical room, first floor and second floor. That east end of the building is getting fed from the first floor electrical room, first floor and second floor. Why they did that like that, I do not know, but it's very important so that way if you're coming up here to look for something on the second floor, once you pass that center line of the building, it's gonna get fed from downstairs. So I had to bring circuits upstairs from that side and circuits downstairs from here. That's why you see all the conduits going downstairs. Why they did it again, I do not know, but we followed the plans, engineering. This is the main distribution panel. It feeds all of your equipment, starting from a high voltage panel in here, which is for the most part lighting and some air handlers, and then you go into low voltage panels. Low voltage panels get fed from the MDP into a transformer and then hit the switch. So if the low voltage panel is in this electrical room, it just comes from the MDP to the transformer because the means of disconnect is within sight in the same room. This, for instance, it feeds the transformer, and then we have a switch because this runs all the way downstairs, all the way across the building to feed the panels that are on the first floor. So you have a L panel that's on the first floor, and you have a C panel that's on the first floor, and everything is fed from this room. As far as breakers, turning on and off breakers, a breaker is on an off position when it's completely off. To turn on a breaker, you just put it on the on position. If a breaker is tripped, it'll be on the middle position and there'll be a red window there. And that's when you verify that a breaker is tripped. And all you have to do at that point is turn the breaker completely off and turn the breaker completely back on, and that should reset your power. Any questions so far?
Who's setting the trip curves?
Trip curbs should have been set from factory. I would have to look more into that.
Engineer sets them.
Right.
When are they coming out to set them? Because I got a building, the ES building, they were never set, and I have a 60 amp main, take a 200 amp main out.
I will find out from the engineer to set trip curbs before I get out of here. Any other questions? Okay.
Huh?
Yes.
Yes.
Drip pan.
So east to west, up and down.
So, before we move on, this is gonna make your main ground bar inverter system. Anybody had an inverter system in any of the other buildings before?
Yeah, in our photo lab, but
The inverter guy came out at startup and he had training session, which myself and Rob attended the training, and there is also a video recording of the inverter startup.
okay.
Manual is here. In a nutshell, circuit comes in. The reason that there's an inverter system is because the building is not on generator backup. So for means of egress, you need certain fixtures to go on and off as in case we lose power. This is equipped with batteries. It feeds we have a direct circuit that feeds this and also goes out to the lights. This particular inverter controls all these pendant lights that are hanging up high here. That's all it controls. Some of them are dedicated for emergency, so that's what this inverter comes in and turns on at that point of losing power.
Do you know how many of those fixtures are on that?
It's about, I was just working with them, it's about 10 of them, I gotta count
Okay.
throughout, they're scattered around. But if, just for say, if you had to work on those fixtures, you would come in, you would turn off the power to the inverter. At that point, you would shut the key off to the inverter, and they have little breakers in here, input and output, which you will shut off. You got input, you got output, and you got battery. If the building were to lose power, this inverter would automatically transfer over and go into battery backup. Okay? Once the building comes back up, the inverter will sense that the building has power and it will automatically transfer back over. But for precaution, if you have to work on it, the best procedure is to shut off the entire inverter with the input, output, and especially the battery. Because if you just shut off the breaker, it's going to read that the building lost power, and it's going to kick out 277 volts back to those fixtures through those batteries. Okay? And once you want to go back online, you just shut this all back on. And everything should shut back on.
So what's the purpose of the keypad?
The keypad in this manual, it shows you how much voltage is coming in, how much voltage is going out, how much is it drawing, what's the load on it. So it's basically information on the inverter and what's connected
Not
to the inverter.
controlling the lights.
And
No.
we do have,
Basically, you got two circuits,
Two circuits.
two emergency circuits.
We only have one circuit.
There's two breakers there.
Right, there's an input and there's output. So input to feed,
Well, what's it? You got
output
three
to go out.
breakers.
Right, there's an input to feed, there's an
Okay.
output to go back out, and then the battery. So if I wanted to shut this off, I would shut off the battery. The input brings the power in to the inverter, and the output lets the power go through the inverter and back out to the lights.
we've got a good
Oh, okay. No,
15-minute
I know what
video
you got.
that we've already recorded for this. I'll make sure I get it to you. You guys can look at it. If you've got any questions, we can get the guy out here.
It's just a
Yeah,
double safety standard type of thing.
no, they run 277, and then when you lose power, it runs off the battery, and that relays the battery out.
Correct. And it lets you go back out. Any other questions?
Now, that paperwork and then possibly the video, you guys have to tell us how often we have to maintain?
Yes,
like,
sir.
Check the batteries, make sure they're.
Yes, sir.
That's on the video. Yeah.
Does
It
that-
also shows you how to
That will tell
read the
us also.
batteries
Okay.
and everything through this keypad. What do you have to punch to read voltage, read input, read output, read battery output.
And if you got any questions after the video, we'll get them back out here.
Okay. It's a lot better than the one that was in the photo lab. Should have seen that thing. That's all I got for this room, guys.
Okay.